Are you or someone who you know is in a haram relationship and you want to know how to end it? Then inshallah, keep watching. Assalamu alaikum Bliifeans, I'm Asma and you're watching Bliifee, where I share Muslim life hacks from my life and experiences as a Muslim in Australia. And in this video, we will be looking at the 10 steps to end a haram relationship. So let's get right into it. Now, as a disclaimer, I will be speaking from a female perspective, so you can ignore some points and you can take some points which apply to you accordingly, inshallah. So number one is to understand what is a haram relationship. What exactly does it mean? Does it mean that a relationship between a man and a woman that involves zina only? No. If a man and a woman are interested in each other and are continuing their relationship in what we define in nowadays terms as boyfriend and girlfriend, but they're not necessarily calling themselves that, that comes under the same category of a haram relationship. Anything that you are looking at the other person in terms of marriage, but you're behaving like a husband and wife, even if it doesn't entail a zina sort of a relationship, it is still haram. Because what is the purpose of marriage? Understanding that will help you understand why this is a haram relationship. So my understanding of marriage is that it is a companionship between a man and a woman. So the reason I come to this conclusion is because if you are getting married for the society, if you are getting married to have kids, if you're getting married for the purpose of deen or whatever, then why would your relationship continue all the way in Jannah? Why would Allah reunite your spouses with you in Jannah? Because it is a companionship. Allah created Hawa alayhi salam for Adam alayhi salam as a companion for him. Not to have kids, not because the society said that he should get married or have a second human being, not because of anything else. That might be secondary. All of those reasons might be secondary. But the main reason is companionship. A man and a woman, a wife and a husband are there for each other like friends in a marriage. With the permission of Allah and with the permission of the wife's wali, mahrams, who have given the permission to do this, and with witnesses who have witnessed this unity. So that understanding of marriage helps us understand that friendships that are casual between man and woman are not halal. Because if it's not within the sanctity of marriage, then shaitan comes in there and can do anything to create chaos over there. So understanding that any lovey-dovey relationship between a man and a woman is haram, okay? Unless it's in a marriage. So acknowledging is the first step to ending a haram relationship. There are so many Muslims who deny that they are in a haram relationship. They think, yes, eventually if they get married, it's okay. But who knows if you're actually going to get married? Only Allah knows. You are not married until you're actually married. You cannot perform the acts of a wife and a husband until you are actually married. Okay? You're not pronounced wife and husband until you're married. So how can you behave like one without the permission of Allah? That comes into the category of a haram relationship. Now, enough about this. Let's get into the second point. The second point is to ask yourself, why do you want to end this relationship? Because you're feeling sad? Because you have to hide this from your parents or family? And majority of these haram relationships are toxic. You are majority of the time not feeling satisfied or happy. Yes, some of these lovey-dovey situations happen, but most of the time you're sad and unfulfilled. You feel like you're doing something wrong and you want to get out of this. You don't feel like you're doing any justice to yourself. So why do you want to end it? Whatever reasons you may have, the first and most biggest reason is because it's haram and Allah is not happy with it. What's the point in continuing something that Allah is not happy with? It's not blessed. There's no barakah in it. So what's the point? It's going to bring you sadness eventually, regardless, because there's no blessings in it. So it needs to end. That is the second question that you're going to ask yourself. Why do you want to end it? Because it's haram and it needs to end. Anything else that you have as a reason is going to be an extra motivation for you to stop and cut off this relationship, inshallah. If you found this beneficial so far, give this video a thumbs up and let's move on. Question number 3 to ask yourself is, do you really want a man who treats you like a wife but does not give you the haqq of a wife? He doesn't give you all the rights of a wife. So he's using you for whatever you give him, all that feelings and all the attention and all the, in some cases, even your body. You're giving all of that, but are you getting the rights of a wife? A house, providence, like does your man provide for you? Does he give you money and for your expenses and provide groceries for you and all of those things that a wife gets? Are you the lady of the house, Rabatul Bayt? No, because he is using you without giving you the rights of a wife. And the rights of a wife only come after nikah. He is getting everything you're getting nothing, all right? So do you really want that? Do you really want to be with a man who's using you and not giving you what you deserve? As a woman, in Islam, we women are protected from all angles. That is why this relationship is haram, because you're not getting what you deserve as a woman. You're forfeiting your rights and giving someone else what they want, but you're not getting what you should be getting. So do you really want that? Question number 4 to ask yourself is, do you really want to continue something that has no barakah in it, no blessing of Allah, no permission of Allah, and Allah is not happy with it? Understanding that halal is beautiful, marriage is beautiful, being with somebody with the permission of Allah, with the permission of your family, with everything involved, but getting your rights, your haqq, your rights as a woman, as a wife, and the man is also getting his rights as a husband. Both of them are complementing each other with what they bring to the table. And it's like a win-win in a halal relationship. There's nothing to lose. So why do you really want to be in a haram relationship? What are you getting out of it? So understanding that halal is so beautiful will want to make you stop this haram as well. Step number 5 is to make a firm decision to actually stop this. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking that if I cut off this relationship, that person is going to feel extremely sad, I'm going to break his heart, and I'm going to be responsible for breaking a Muslim's heart or the heart of a human being, and it's a great sin in Islam to break a human being's heart. So how do can I really do this? Yes, you can. Because breaking the heart of a Muslim because you're stopping a haram is allowed. You cannot make someone happy by doing something haram, okay? So obviously the opposite is true, that breaking the heart is going to be permissible because you're getting out of something haram, okay? And sometimes sometimes the man might, or the boy might threaten you to do some harm to himself if you leave. Or, I cannot live without you. Please don't go. Please don't leave me. You are not responsible for their reaction. You are not responsible for anything they do after you leave the haram relationship. It is their own choice. They are a mature adult, or if they were able to get in a relationship, they are also able to think for themselves, okay? So you are not responsible for any harm they do on themselves. So do not feel guilty and do not stay with that guilt. There's no benefit in this. It's a big, big red flag if someone says this. Do you really want to stay with someone who's going to threaten you every time you try to leave? Does not respect your feelings, does not respect your boundaries? Do you really want to be in this sort of a thing? No, sis, get out of it. So step number 5, to reiterate, is to make a firm decision. Yes, I'm going to end this today. This brings me to the 6th point, is communication. Now you can choose to tell them or not. Some scholars say to just end it, like don't even tell them that I'm ending it, because obviously, like I said, some people are going to react like, I cannot live without you sort of a thing. But it's up to you. Do you want to tell it to them that, look, I'm ending it because it's haram? Or you just want to cut off contact with them? But there's consequences for both. Obviously, make your own choice. But you choose what to do in this step. You either tell them or you don't tell them and just exit, okay? Step number 7 is to cut off all contact for 30 days. So there's this concept of no contact, okay, in the Western society, which is after a breakup, you do not contact that person at all for 30 days, a minimum. And no contact involves not even stalking them, not looking at what they're doing, not looking at their profiles, not checking if they're online, not checking if they've updated the profile photos, not checking on them at all. Zero contact, zero. You know what this means? Empty, nothing, not even a bit of it, nothing inside it, okay? Zero. So going no contact for 30 days, and absolutely not talking, not even a hi, how are you, not even assalamu alaikum, not even Eid Mubarak. No, nothing, okay? No texting, no calling, no meeting, nothing. Even if you remember about them, I'll tell you what to do in another step, but no contact, zero, absolutely no contact, okay? Step number 8 is to find other hobbies and other halal activities. Every time I say in any video, when you're cutting off something, when you're getting rid of a habit or you're getting rid of anything in your life, you have to fill in that gap with something beneficial, something halal, something permissible. So all this time that you used to spend on this person, meeting them, texting them, or whatever, thinking about them, you need to fill in that time with something else to distract you. Otherwise, you're going to have this emptiness in you that will constantly keep you walling in self-thought, and shaitan comes in and again chaos happens. So get some activities, a list that you can do in that time. So what this means is going out with your friends, going to the masjid, attending events, have a good time, okay? Get into a hobby, start a new job, start something to distract you. You remember in the previous step when I told you that you might start thinking about this person and you might want to go and start talking to them again? That's why I'm telling you this step. Have something to fill in that gap, so whenever you start thinking about them, you have something to distract yourself with. So find other hobbies and halal activities to keep you distracted and to keep you focused on your goal and mission of no contact. Step number 9 is to share this whole journey with someone you trust. I know it is said that we do not share our sins and do not publicize our sins. So you can choose who to trust in this case. It can be a counselor, it can be your mom, it can be your friend, whoever you trust, your sister, your brother, whoever you think is going to get you through this and who can help you grieve through it. Because it is a grieving process. You've lost somebody. You've lost a part of you that you thought you had. And you know what? You've lost someone that you thought who they were. They were not actually that. You thought they were your husband or you had that feeling of your fiance or something, but they're not. They were not that. They were not your husband. They were not your fiance. Majority of the haram relationships, nobody knows about this, not even the family. So you had this idea about them, which is not true. So let's let that idea go away because that was not a true idea. It was not real. It was something in your imagination. It was not real. So let it go and grieve through that process. It is sad. It is hard. So grieve through that process, and if you can get somebody on board to help you through that, to support you through that, a buddy so that they make sure that you're not contacting that person anymore, a buddy that can listen to you every time you have something to say that I'm feeling sad, or that buddy is there to comfort you when you're crying, because that's going to happen. So find somebody who can help you through that, inshallah. You were not in love with the person. You were in love with the idea of them, who you thought they were. They're not that person. You probably stayed in that relationship expecting some change to happen, expecting this haram relationship to become halal, but it's not happening. So it's, again, you're not loving them, you were in love with the idea of who you two could be, but you were not becoming that. So let's let go of that idea. It's okay, I understand. And Allah says that when you let go of something that's bad for you, He will replace it with something better for you, inshallah. So have that idea in mind, and that will help you grieve through this whole thing. Step number 10, which is the final step, is to plan for your future. What do you want to do after this? What do you want to do after you let go with this person? Do you want to make it halal down the future? So you tell your parents about it, and you find out about this person, the family, you go through the whole process of an actual marriage. But you want to do that after 30 days of not even contacting them at all. You see how you feel. Do you really want to get back with them? Do you feel like you've gotten a better life now? You are happier without them. How are you feeling? Let's reflect on that and then see what you want to do. If you want to make it halal, talk to your parents. Make it an actual mature process of getting that relationship into a halal relationship, which is a marriage. Or do you not want to be with them anymore? Do you want to enjoy your single life now? Are you happier now than the way you used to be? What do you want to do? That's step number 10, reflecting and thinking about the future. And again, if you're thinking of getting married either to that same person or looking for someone else for marriage, and you do find somebody, then inshallah watch this video, which is how to do a halal proposal, inshallah. So again, to recap, the 10 steps are: number 1, to acknowledge that this is a haram relationship. Number 2, asking yourself, why do you want to end it? Because it's haram. Number 3, do you really want to be with a man who does not give you the rights of a wife and uses you for everything else? Number 4, do you really want to do this without the blessing of Allah, knowing that halal is much more beautiful and satisfying? Number 5 is to make a firm decision to stop and end this once and for all. Number 6 is to communicate, to choose to tell them or not. Number 7 is to go no contact with 30 days minimum, and obviously further on. Number 8 is to find halal activities and other hobbies to fill in this gap that is left behind by this person. Number 9 is to grieve through this process and share this process with somebody if possible. And number 10 is to plan for the future and ask yourself what you want to do next. Before moving on to the next step, obviously share this video with somebody who you think is in a haram relationship and is struggling to get out of it. So if they actually do benefit from this video, then inshallah you get a share of the rewards, because sadaqah jariyah. Another way to get sadaqah jariyah is to give this video a thumbs up and comment below and subscribe so that this video gets pushed on to more people who need to get out of their haram relationship. Until next time, live your beliefs and stay tuned to Bliifee.
So my dream for Jannah grows day by day, and I pray to Allah to guide me all the way till I make it to His paradise.